heard of my name, right? Only you don't know how to spell that name. So I have a fancy spelling of that name, which is Jaycee. So don't think it's just simply JC. No, Jaycee. Thank you. A lot of struggles that you face, a lot of challenges that you pass through. Your life is undefined. You're trying to find your way, but you can't get it. That's the kind of life we live in these days. You're trying to see if this you're trying to see if this possible, scanning the environment to check if this possible. You wanna make sure demons have gone and your past dispersed. Your angels have been so quiet and now it's so hard to believe. That's the kind of life we live in these days. You've had a tragic past and that still wanna dictate in your life, had the anxiety and the ideas of addiction taking you over for a tour you never asked for. Just of recent you made choices that ended you up in hospital and only to leave you on the mercies of medications and doctors and therapists that promise you nothing about your pain, and now you ask. There is everything pay off course, the pain's what you feel. What's the point in pain? You've been there for so long. When people go and the struggles come, when you feel so lost, it's not your fault. When life says bye but you wanted to stay, to be honest, when you feel so lost, it's not your fault. When you become a citizen of Painland at a time you never expected. You see, most of the questions you're asking may not be answered. You're busy making calls that nobody cares about, like looking for medicine for something chronic, like an artist rehearsing songs you not perform on the stage, and only to realize only you can cope up with your pain, but there's nothing as perfect healing for you. And now you ask. That's the kind of life you live in these days. But how about the fact that nothing can stop you now? How about the fact that your weaknesses, your failures, your struggles, and the memories that hurt you, what we thought could kill you, has now made you stronger? For you have been exposed to pain for a good amount of time, and now you've gained something special from it. You've learned to control the fires of hell and harness the power of the darkness. The sleepless nights is spent and the days is spent without rest. What's next for you if not the sunlight? And if you realized how stronger was the enemy you had to fight, but now you've won the battle, you can have the power to tell your current problems and struggles and challenges, and the people who've got no interest in your success. You can't stop me. How about the fact that now you can't be denied of your success and happiness and all that is meant for you? How about the fact that your weaknesses, your failures, your struggles, and the memories that hurt you, what we thought could kill you, has now made you stronger? For you've for you have taken yourself out of the fucking sorry state and now you're at a place and in a position of proud to be. You've learned to divert the course of your faith and master the art of your confidence. The practices you made and the experience you gained, what's next for you if not the spotlight? And if you realized how stronger was the enemy you had to fight, but now if you won the battle, you can have the power to tell your current problems and struggles and challenges, and people have got no interest in your success. You can't stop me. If you realized how stronger was the enemy you had to fight, but now you've won the battle, you can have the power to tell your current problems and the struggles and the challenges and the memories that hurt you. You can't stop me. So the pain, the threatening feelings of anxiety and depression and the darkening moments you had with addiction, they use these pills and medications and the endless appointments you had with the doctors. And finally, the hopelessness and lack of faith in yourself. You see, what you face, you can't face it again. It works like vaccine of acquired immunity. And that's the power I'm talking about. That's the ability. That's that's the strength again. That's the strength I say that you gain. That's the capacity. And and as a matter of fact, your past has already passed, and trust me, it's reality. You have become unstoppable. So that is, you have become unstoppable, and if you have realized, well, it's on mental health and depression and anxiety and all those shits, the people personally. But there's one thing I love about life is that misery, problems, struggles, they're common. We all face them, right? Because like when I was when I was writing this, I didn't know like this was going to work here. I always wanted to be on this stage for since since well, so this is my first stage to perform, and I've always wanted. Okay, thank you. Now, okay, the second poem. Before I come in for the second poem, I think you've got used to me, sir. I think I can share just two things about me. Number one, I love people's voices and faces. So when you see me staring at you and meditating at you like I want to run away with you, please don't call the police, right? It's either your voice or your what? Your face causing the problems. It's not Joy. It's not JC has committed no offense in that case, right? So that's it. And number two, I stubbornly believe your dream is a kingdom. So I'll ask you, and I hope I'm not offending nobody here when I ask you to repeat that for me. Could you go? Could you? Your dream is a kingdom. Your dream is a kingdom. Could you? Your dream is a kingdom. Okay. So I realized the only way I still exist, the only way I have come here, is because I take my dream as a kingdom. So, and once I've got that on my fucking mindset, you can't stop me, man. You can't. You can't. It's a kingdom, right? I know I'm fighting for a kingdom, and a kingdom you fight for it. So once I see my dream as a kingdom, you know. And okay, those were two things about me, and it's my first time to be here, but I can't forget the fact that there are people who know me here. So I'd like to thank Miss Lois. Could you please? And then Tete, and then Tete, then another person I've known here, Manik. Okay, thank you. Well, the second poem is called the person who the person who never gives up. That's how I call it. The person who never gives up. The person who never gives up. I call you a hero. If you've ever found yourself having to start everything from the scratch, but then you didn't give up on your life and kept moving, and now you're still in the game, I call you a hero. If you've ever found yourself stuck in some serious situation, like being brought to the bottom and heartbroken at the same time, but then you did not give up in your life and kept fighting, and now you're still in the game, I call you a hero. If you still believe your dreams the kingdom after all you've been through, I call you a hero. If you still believe in yourself after all the world has put you through, I call you a hero. If you still believe you finally make it, and I got no doubt you'll finally make it. I call you a hero because the person who never gives up is the kind of person you chose to be. I call you a hero if at some point of life you left your job, left your father's place to start a new life and build your own kingdom. And you didn't want to be stopped, so you kept quiet about it. And right in the middle, you faced a lot of discouragements and hatred and competition from people. But you did not give up on your target, and that you did it only for what it would make of you to become financially secure and independent. You knew it was your time, so you went without complaining. And regardless of the fact that in the middle, you did feel like quitting due to a lot of failures and losses you registered. You have finally achieved your goals and now your business has become a success. I call you a hero because the person who never gives up is the kind of person you chose to be. I call you a hero if you finished high school with excellent results in something like physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, economics, and computer science, but only to find yourself working at a construction site, carrying bricks and stones and bags of cement and molding mud and sand and pavements and being bossed and supervised by the same mason builder man who may not even know how to read and write. I call you a hero because the person who never gives up is the kind of person you chose to be. I call you a hero if you are that hot and sexy, beautiful and adorable girl whose parents and neighbors, your classmates and the teachers, more than a couple of times they scolded you and told you, look at how you behave. A teenager girl coming home at this time, you can't sit and revise your books. As a matter of fact, you're failing your papers. Your class teacher told me about it. You can't learn a single thing of manners from other kids in the neighborhood or your classmates. All you think about is makeup. You can't take the broom and sweep the compound. There's nothing waiting for you other than becoming a disgrace in your family and nothing but a bitch on the street. Nothing but a bitch on the street. They told you this and repeated it, and that's how much you know. That's when you realized how much they meant it. They told you this and repeated it until you are tired of it and left that group. But finally, after a lot of hustling, they called it slaying. After passing through a lot of shit you can't explain to nobody, I guess only God can judge you, baby. You have successfully become a rich and self-reliant and that worth respecting bitch. Are rich and self-reliant and that worth respecting bitch. Bitch, I call you your hero because the person who never gives up is the kind of person you chose to be. Thank you, Spoken Word Wonder, for having me.